Welcome back. We're on video 3, which is the last video to be able to complete our training for employee self-service. We left off on our last video on submitting your time, sort of the final stretch here. So let's re-review the items or refresh your memory on the items that you need to be able to know in submitting your time. So the first one is you have to be able to scroll between weeks by you clicking on prior week or next week. Do not click on the return arrows. There are arrows up there right next to next week and prior week. Don't click on the arrows because it'll take you back out to the main screen and you'll have lost everything that you had not saved. We don't want you to do that. Make sure you click on current week and next week. Always click that save for later piece. And then I want you to double check your hours worked each week before you're submitting. So that's why you need to be able to go between prior week and next week. Understand that time is submitted weekly to your supervisor. So, you submit your time and save for later on a daily basis, then at the end of the week, which you would click on submit to your supervisor for your supervisor to approve. Understanding also that the system doesn't calculate overtime, double time, comp time used, comp time earned. You need to enter the times in the appropriate row and in the appropriate pay type and day. So again, the system's not smart enough to know that you get double time on a Saturday or Sunday or time and a half on a holiday or whatever it might be. The system doesn't know that. You got to enter in the correct column. And then the second piece of it is different. You might see pay types you don't use on the screen because we've tried to keep it generic, like comp time secretaries have, but custodians don't have them. Paraeducators don't have it. But we're trying to keep those pay types as generic so we can have the same screen that everybody can take a look at. So final piece is that this is your official pay record underneath the Connecticut Department of Labor and FLSA standards, which are federal fair labor standards. So once you submit the time, nobody should be changing the time. So that's your record. It's your information. So we just want to make sure that you're aware of it when you click submit and that it is the official record. So Therese, why don't you show everybody how you can submit your time?
Well, we've already submitted. Here is the button you would click to submit your time. But also, when we were talking about prior week or the next week, so here I can hit prior week to see what I submitted. This is the green checks mean I have already submitted my payroll and it was approved by my supervisor.
That's me.
And then the next week is the beginning of a new pay period, which was Monday the 15th.
And you see that big circle in the upper left-hand corner with an arrow in it?
Don't hit it.
Don't hit that. That backs you back out. Hit it after you've clicked save for later if you aren't submitting your time, or once you click submit, you can't hit that. But
okay. So that's how you enter your payroll. Now, one of the other things, if you make a mistake, go ahead, Jason.
So if you make a mistake, which is going to happen in the first couple of weeks here, even after we've trained you, that you're going to make a mistake. You're going to say you did this on one day, but you did something different.
Or you thought you saved it and it really didn't save.
Work directly with your supervisor. Your supervisor can correct your time card with your permission. All right. Once your supervisor has submitted the time card, we can't change it.
Nope.
It's done. It's inked. It's in payroll. So there is a link where you'd have to navigate to on the district website. Go to the district webpage, ledger.net. Click on staff intranet, sort of over on the right-hand side of the pull-down menus. Click on forms and documents, and then in the lower right-hand side of forms and documents, you would click to request to edit a pending timesheet. You want to do this before we process payroll. And what it is it allows us to have a record and permission to be able to modify the time that you and your supervisor have submitted. So again, your supervisor can't correct your time with your permission. Typically, that involves communicating with you. Sometimes they might have to do that if they haven't communicated with you. But ultimately, we want that communication there. Then the second piece of it is if it's already been submitted by your supervisor, Claire can't change it, Therese can't change it, I can't change it without permission. That permission is granted when you submit this form.
One last thing. To get out of this form, don't just click it in the X box. Go to your name, go to the drop down, do log out. That way it says you've successfully logged out, and then you want to then you can X out.
And it's important because sometimes you might be using a shared computer, different shifts using the same computer. You want to be able to log out. That way the time that gets submitted is gone.
Okay. Our last thing is if you have any questions or problems, these are the people that you can contact, and in that order. You can contact me first, and my extension's 1102. Next, you can contact Jason Lathrop, and he's at 1300. The last person to contact is Claire Strickland, and she's 1103. And like I said, contact me first because I'm the first line of defense there for the payroll department.
Just people are going to, if you ask questions, we're going to ask you if you've had an opportunity to review all the training documents we give you. So make sure you refer to these first. And if you get stuck, we are glad to help you.
Have a great day. Thank you for being here, and we appreciate it.